Hey y'all, it's Brandi. So as you noticed, I am at the park again with my movie review for today. Today I will be talking about the 2017 horror thriller movie called It. Alright, so this movie is definitely not family friendly. It is rated R, so just discretion on that. Summary. Okay, so pretty much there are 7 boys and 1 girl, and they are in Derry, Maine, and they notice a spike of disappearance on children, and they find out that there's like this how do I explain it, like this creature that looks like a clown but can disguise itself into many different forms, and it actually it drives on the kid's fear, and he actually eats children. So definitely not family friendly on this one. It is a horror movie, and the kids, you know, try to track it down and try to figure out what's going on, and just spend their summer tracking down and trying to hunt down this clown alien before it gets them, because it is trying to get and eat them. Okay, actors. Let's see. The clown, it is, and I apologize if I mispronounce his name. He has a tricky last name, but kind of cool. Bill Schwargard. Let's see. Finn Hoffhard, Jaden Mortal, Sophia Lillis, Jack Dillon, Jeremy Ray Taylor, and then obviously there's some more. Those are just a couple of the boys and the clown. Okay, the plot. So again, talking about the plot, you know, the setup, the confrontation, and then the resolution. With the setup, you know, it did, in my opinion, I think they could have did a little bit better job explaining the clown, you know, well, not just the clown, but it, you know, they don't have a name for it other than it. I feel like they could have did a better job, you know, Stephen King and his novels. I mean, I know it's a movie, but I feel like with it being, 2 hours and 15 minutes long, they could have did a better job, like, setting up who this it character was. They did a little bit of job, but I feel like with the beginning, they could have did a better job. The middle with the confrontation, you know, great confrontation. There was some, you know, a lot of stuff going on. And then the resolution, Stephen King is known for his endings to not be, like, phenomenal. So I think, you know, for this ending, it was good. But again, Stephen King has, you know, a reputation to, you know, and he's even said it, that he has a great plot and storylines, but the ending are not the strongest. So ending good and decent, but you know. So, and I'm not bashing Stephen King. I love Stephen King's novels and his movies. I love watching them. I love talking about them. Like Stephen King is an interesting person, that his stories are just like, they blow my mind that he can come up with all this stuff, like The Shining and all that. Side note. All right, entertainment factor. You know, it made me think. It had suspense. Let's see. I was on edge. You know, the movie. It was entertaining. You know, the one thing that I have as a complaint is it was a long movie. You know, 2 hours and 15 minutes. I feel like they could have shortened it a little bit, but it was entertaining other than it being long. The theme, I did want to mention this, you know, movies do have themes in some of the movies, and I was interested to do a little bit of research about Stephen King and his, like, overall kind of like arching themes, and his themes in this movie pertain to his other movies and novels for the most part. Obviously there's more, but some of the themes was the power of memory, childhood trauma, and its reoccurring echoes into adulthood. So this first It, you know, shows the trauma of the children, and then the second one, because there's a second It, really goes into adulthood. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Overcoming evil with mutual trust and sacrifice. You know, the kids, he plays on their fear, but they have mutual trust as friends. They sacrifice for one another, and you know, with that you can overcome a lot. And then stories of the children versus the adults that they become. You know, the stuff that they went through when they were younger. How did that shape them being older, and that kind of goes into, like I said, the second part of the second It. The cinematography, you know, the camera was awesome, how they like panned in with the lights down low and then the music. It really did make the suspense and on edge a lot more phenomenal with it being a horror movie. So they did a really good job with the cinematography. The costumes, you know, his costume, his makeup, the clown, when he opened his mouth, his creepy teeth, just a really good job. There was a couple other, I will say, kind of dorky costumes with the other creatures that he transformed into. I think they could have did a little bit better job with those, but the It was just phenomenal. I mean, it was creepy. It was creepy. The director, Andy Muschietti, he actually directed the movie Mama, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So he does do horror movies. All right, last but not least, did this have the It factor? And I think it's so hilarious that now I'm talking about the It factor and the movie is It. So did it have the It factor? I would say yes, it was a good movie. The only complaint that I had was it was just a little bit long, and they needed to, like I said, kind of dive into a little bit more of who was It. But for me, I think it did have the suspense. Was it the best horror movie out of all of them? I don't think it was the top, but I think it was definitely good. It was definitely a must-see. Yeah, so I definitely would recommend this movie. I found a quote that was really interesting. This movie was the #1 highest grossing horror film of all time. It came in with $327.5 million in the highest grossing. The second highest was The Sixth Sense. That was a 90s movie, and it had $293.5 million. So I was like, wow. So like I said, it was a really good horror movie. It was just really good. I would rate this movie, like I said, like talking and thinking about the It factor and just the overall suspense, I would rate this a 7.8. The only reason why I wanted to give it an 8 is, again, it was a little bit long, and I feel like they could have, like I said, you know, explain a little bit about it a little bit more. Because if you didn't really know much about Stephen King or the novel, maybe you would have to look it up and try to figure out who this It character was, that he really wasn't an alien that was older than humanity, as Stephen King said in his novels. If you didn't read the book and you didn't know, you would have to research. So I would give it a 7.8 out of 10. Definitely a must-see. One of, you know, Stephen King's classic, and like I said, I enjoyed it. So I would recommend you watching it. Yeah, and yeah, let me know how you like it, what your thoughts are, your comments below. If there's any other movie that you would like for me to watch and review, I would love for you to let me know. Again, the movie theaters are opening up soon, so I'm excited about that. But until then, I will see y'all at Tuesday at 7 p.m. Bye now. Have a good night, and keep watching those movies, eat those popcorn. Maybe go outside, you know, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, see y'all.